Hi everyone, this is Ryoko here. Today I'd like to share some effective goal setting tips on how to achieve life goals. The average life expectancy of Australians is 82 years for both men and women. But healthy life expectancy or HLE is different. HLE is the expected number of remaining years of life spent in good health. Of course, this is depending on each person's lifestyle and eating habits, etc. For me, I expect to live healthy until around 75. I may live longer, but I may not be able to move around vigorously to do what I enjoy. So I calculated my healthy life expectancy for me is 30 years from now. Now I want to bring a different topic, but it is related. When we go on a road trip, we need a plan and a map to reach our destinations. So our lives are like a road trip. We also need a plan and a map in order to reach our destinations. There are a few things I want to achieve in my life, or I call them my destinations. Some goals are not possible to achieve in the late 60s or 70s physically. So when I make my map, I keep this in my mind. This brings a sense of urgency and unwillingness of postponing things. I realize more that I want to live my life every day to full. My yoga teacher, Mr. Seiya Shimizu, said that when we think about what sort of happiness we want in the rest of our lives, it is important to write down things that made us feel happy in past. When I wrote down things that made me happy in past, I surprised myself because they were different to what I was expecting. I thought I would write things like winning a running race or earning a secure job position. But instead, I wrote things like more connecting with others, such as cheerleading training with my teammates and performing dance with my students at Darwin Middle School where I used to work as a teacher. And also running a yoga class for my Ashtanga yoga students. They are the happiness of connecting with people and building a community. Now, there is a book called The Three Happiness written by a Japanese psychiatrist, Dr. Karasawa. According to Dr. Karasawa, the happiness we feel on a daily basis can be classified into three types: serotonin happiness, oxytocin happiness, and dopamine-like happiness. Serotonin happiness means healthy happiness, mental and physical happiness. Oxytocin happiness is simply the happiness of connection and love, and dopamine-like happiness is happiness such as money, success, achievement, wealth, honor, status, etc. People who have them all are definitely happy, but are very few. Dr. Karasawa says that prioritizing the three types of happiness is extremely important. Most people have a wrong priority. The correct priority is serotonin happiness. The healthy happiness comes first, then oxytocin happiness, the happiness of connection and love. Lastly, dopamine happiness, money, achievement, and honor. We cannot neglect serotonin happiness and oxytocin happiness, otherwise we can be prone to mental illness. Dr. Karasawa also mentioned that dopamine-like happiness diminishes quickly. However, serotonin and oxytocin-based happiness can last longer. A good example of dopamine-like happiness is winning in sports. It can spontaneously create joy, but it doesn't last long. As for serotonin happiness, for example, if you see beautiful sunshine, you feel happy, and next day when you see the sunshine again, you feel happy. The same for oxytocin happiness. For example, a person may feel happy to hold a baby. If it's once or multiple times, the feeling of happiness won't change much. The reason why I brought about Dr. Karasawa's research is because knowing the different types of happiness is important when we set life goals. Before knowing this book, I had different goals for the rest of my life. They are more like dopamine happiness, such as success, money, and status. But earlier, my yoga teacher, Seiya, was talking about writing down things that made me happy in past, which is the key for determining goals for the remaining of the life. So my happy moments in past was mostly connecting with people, doing things together, achieving things together. They were definitely oxytocin-based happiness. So I made amendment on the list of my goals because now I know what makes me happy, really. And I'm now happy to share one of my goals. That is, I would like to achieve for the next 30 years, which is to create a home-based yoga community. I'd like to keep sharing yoga wisdom with my students and encourage them to incorporate yoga in their everyday lives. My community will be called Yoga Temple at Home. I have already purchased the domain name for this and currently designing a website. I hope you find this 3 types of happiness useful, and this will help you with setting your own life goals. Thank you very much for listening. Namaste.